because I'm trying to let people know that
Why do you need assault weapons?
Pardon?
Why do you need assault weapons?
What is an assault weapon?
It's, you know, one of the guns that you can do like 100 rounds at one time. Yeah, the military needs these.
You're talking about
one of those for hunting.
Are you talking about a fully automatic weapon? They've been controlled since the Gun Control Act of 1968.
Well, then
They require security and background clearances, and they're extremely expensive. The average firearms that I think you're talking about.
2 or 3 bullets.
Because criminals have more than that. It doesn't matter why I think I should have anything. It's my right.
No, it's not. That's distorted.
Pardon?
That is distorted. Our forefathers did not mean that when they went well-armed militia. That's not what they meant.
Are you familiar with the Pennsylvania Constitution?
What part of it?
Article 1, Section 21. That's the right to the people. The second time it was amended was, I think, in 1960 or 70. It was originally, the Pennsylvania Constitution was originally drafted 20 years before the federal Constitution. The states had their own, then they got together and created the federal government with very limited powers. Now the Pennsylvania Constitution states that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be questioned, period.
No matter how nuts they are.
Wow.
Have you ever had anybody murdered by a gun?
That I know?
Yeah, friend or family?
Yes. It's a terrible thing.
And how can you be for this?
I'm not for murder, I'm not for violence. Why do you think I'm for that? How do you get that?
How do I get that? Because this love of guns is twisted. If the countries that don't have as many guns, they don't have people being killed. This argument that
when England,
guns don't kill people, people kill people.
When England banned guns, their violent crime rate went through the roof. Because people can't protect themselves even in their own homes. Home invade. Go look it up online.
That's ridiculous.
Home invade. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they take weapons from law-abiding people. We all have an inherent right of self-defense.
Everybody's a law-abiding person until they're not.
Right. So do you think you can tell in advance that somebody?
Exactly. How do you judge who's going to be the law-abiding citizen? Like, I could get so mad at one of these, and if I had a gun, I don't know what I would do. That's why I don't have one. I don't want one. I hate them.
Well, then people like you should, but you're self-selecting. You are saying to yourself, I don't trust myself with a firearm. I think there's a lot of people out there like that. However, that doesn't mean that you should take away.
There's a lot of people that don't care, and they'd rather have the love of their gun next to them.
Criminals will get firearms no matter what.
So we should have no laws.
We have plenty of laws.
We should have no laws on anything because the criminals will disobey them anyway.
One of the problems that we have right now is we have judges who plea bargain things away with violent crimes because, unfortunately, our prisons are full of non-violent drug offenders.
Right.
That's a disgrace.
That is a
Why
disgrace.
can't we? So we already have infrastructure. Exactly. I think we agree on more than you think. But so why don't we work on addressing this? That's the root cause of the problem. Anybody will get a tool to hurt somebody else. There's knife crimes. There's hammer crimes. More people are killed with motor vehicles every year.
I mean, of course, there might be crimes of passion, but you're not going to have random movie theater crimes with knives or hammers. Or somebody going into a school and killing 20 babies with a knife or a hammer.
I know, that's a horrible thing. See, here's my issue with that. What's really putting our kids in jeopardy is gun-free zones, because people that are sick, that want to go, I mean, I just heard, there was information, can I just finish?
I know what your argument is.
No, what I'm going to say is I just heard more information about Sandy Hook now because they finally released it. It was, the court sealed everything for 90 days, but they said that he had a notebook of other serial mass murdering people. So these people that are sick, they want to be somebody. They want to be in the news. They want to go out and everybody knows their name. So that's part of the problem. Where do you think somebody like that is going to go to where they know they won't have any resistance and there will be a lot of targets? Their schools, because they're gun-free zones, because they know the police will take 5 to 10 minutes to get there. And what inevitably happens in these shootings is when the police show up, they kill themselves.
What about
if there was one person there
walking down the street to go to school? Is that a gun-free zone?
It shouldn't be.
I mean, what military standing along all the streets?
No, I think that families,
if teachers are manned with guns and they have an officer at the school and making sure nobody's bringing in guns, then they're going to like one-up that and they're going to shoot the kids as they're skipping along to the school.
No, they won't. See, I advocate families and communities caring for their own children. And the way that we do that is we carry a firearm, because a firearm...
So what do? You wear your bulletproof vest to school and everybody...
You don't have to do that, because these people, statistically, if you look at states that have easier ability to carry a concealed firearm, like here in Pennsylvania, it's a shall issue state. So as long as you're not a criminal and you don't have any kind of mental issue, you can get a permit to carry a concealed firearm. Statistically, in states like that, the crimes are much lower because criminals know that anybody here, they're more likely to have a gun. And guns are the equalizer. See, if you take away guns from people, then weak people get preyed on, because stronger people don't need a gun to hurt somebody. They don't. I mean, there's a lot of big guys here that I would never want to. I would never want to fight them.
What do they need a gun for then? They're so big and strong.
Well, unfortunately,
and they just worship them.
There's other people that are bigger and stronger than them. You know, I don't think anybody worships guns. I think people value their God-given right to self-defense.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If you just took away all the guns, then nobody would have to worry about it.
And you're advocating only the government have guns?
Only the military.
Only the military? That is the government. That is the government.
You wouldn't need a secret service to protect the president.
See my sign right here? Free people own guns, slaves don't. What did they do in Germany? What did they do in Germany? They disarmed the people and then they subjugated and murdered them because the people can't fight back.
I don't think most of those people had guns to begin with.
They did. A large portion did.
The Jews had guns.
Yeah, go research it. I encourage you to don't take my word for any of this stuff.
I'm not really interested in finding a value in everybody having guns. It's ridiculous to me. I have no stock in guns. I want nothing to do with guns.
Well, that's your personal choice, and that's what's great about this country. But don't try to infringe your ideas on me, because here's the other thing you look at. All right, you're talking about you would like your perfect world would be no citizens have guns, only the military do.
I wish the military didn't. I wish the whole world could just live in peace and everybody leave each other alone.
I wish they could too. Unfortunately, we live in a fallen world.
Do
you believe in God?
Don't steal my stuff.
Do you believe in God?
No.
You don't? I'm sorry to hear that. But we live in a fallen world.
God, you think Jesus would like guns?
I think Jesus would say that if you have a way to defend yourself, you should absolutely take that. And there's actually a Bible verse.
Jesus would not like.
I can't think it off the top of my hand. If you Google, the Bible was inspired by God. It was written by many people. So basically,
who's God?
Let me.
Who's God?
The God of Abraham.
And that's the real one?
And the God of Israel.
Is that the real one?
You can believe what you like. I believe what I have a loving God. My God teaches me to love other people and treat people with respect.
I don't need a God to tell me not to sleep with my friend's husband or not to murder anybody or not to steal from anybody. I just was born knowing this. It's the right thing. I don't need somebody to tell me that.
Well,
I'm a humanist.
I'm glad for you.
I'm a humanist. I don't need the fear of God or the fear of going to hell to make me do the right thing.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of that either.
I just know it.
I'm not afraid of going to hell.
I just know what's right and wrong.
But can I get back to a second ago? You were talking about you advocate only the military having guns. So let me.
If we're at war and it's necessary.
So in that perfect world, how would you then take all the guns that are out there? How would they be collected?
Oh, it can happen.
But how would they be?
We can start to eliminate them, just like we should
how does
start
that
to
happen?
eliminate the 8-cylinder pig cars. We should just stop manufacturing. There's enough for everybody to last forever.
People will print their own. Haven't you seen the new thing? It's called 3D printing, where people can print stuff. You're going to be able to print firearms in 5 or 10 years.
You know what, let me ask you one question. I'm Harry, by the way. Nice to meet you. And I don't want to be
Everybody
contentious
should
with
have
you.
their own bombs, too. Everybody should have the right to make bombs.
I just wanted to, one thing that I don't understand is, I understand that a lot of people here don't like guns and are afraid of guns. And they don't want us to legally have guns. Well, we want peace too. But
everybody's right. Let me
do you,
just clarify.
do you understand how we feel when you say we don't want you to have guns, but yet you want to send people with guns to take our guns?
That's what I was just getting at.
Well, how else are we going to take them?
There's nobody interested in doing that.
That's what Bloomberg says, and that's what Diane Feinstein says.
Diane
Feinstein said if she had enough votes, she would have taken them all away.
Fascists. You're fascists.
But that's what your side thinks.
She's not doing that.
But that's what your side thinks.
No, it's not. You see, you don't know what we think any other.
Do you understand the Second
You're right, I
Amendment
don't
has
know what
nothing
you
to do with
think.
hunting?
It's not about hunting though.
Hunters don't need assault.
Doesn't matter.
Second Amendment's not about
hunting though. Where does it say that in the Constitution?
This one just put me through that too.
Well, what is
I
an
am
assault
not an
weapon? Because
authority on
the only
guns.
term I heard of
think
that
an
is
assault
in the
weapon is
military.
a machine gun that goes bang, 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 100 times.
Can I ask you just a quick question? You want
I am not interested in knowing about guns.
You
All I
want
know
the
is bang, bang,
government?
bang, bang, bang,
You
bang,
want
bang,
the
bang, bang,
government
bang,
to
bang,
come
bang,
and
bang.
take our guns?
That's all.
Can I ask you an honest
I think
question?
if you-
My assault
I think
weapons.
if you have a right to
My AR. You want to
Are
take?
you taping me?
Can I ask
Yeah,
you
I'm
a
taking
quick
video of
question?
the whole thing.
Just a quick question. You want the government to take action to come and limit us and take our firearms?
Nobody is
Why don't you
coming
come and
to
do it
your
yourself?
house. How are you
gonna get
Why are
rid
you
of
How
hiding
you gonna
behind
get
the
rid of the assault
government?
weapons?
It's a dream.
Come and do it. Come and do it yourself.
That's a nightmare.
Utopia.
That's a nightmare.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
It's a utopia.
I'll tell you what.
Then why waste your time on it then?
We'll make it fair.
So
We'll
you
do it
think we should
Civil
have
War
no
style.
Well, we're in the Constitution. Does it give you anybody the authority to take away my guns? Where? Where in the Constitution?
Does it have you the right to come shoot me?
I don't have the right to do that. I don't have the right to be. I have a right to have an assault
We have
rifle.
laws against shooting
If somebody came to shoot you and I was there with a gun, I would
protect
defend you.
Protect you.
regardless of what your beliefs are.
I don't believe in aggression.
We would.
Absolutely.
So we're not the problem.
Would you help us if we were in trouble?
Yes, I would beat those bad boys up with my fists.
But if they had a gun, your fist wouldn't be very
Then I would get
effective.
my hammer out.
Well, you know what? Once they get
Hey,
done,
you know what?
man,
More
not
people
enough.
died with hammers than they did guns.
know.
So we need to outlaw
Ban
hammers
the
too.
hammer. Ban the
And the
hammer.
hammer.
Seriously, the issue is human
Why
behavior.
do
Crowbars,
you need to
ban
have
bats.
a license to get a
You know what?
driver's license?
Cut our hands off too, because these can be considered weapons.
No,
too.
wait,
Cut our hands
not in the
off.
Constitution.
Well,
Read the
maybe
Constitution.
it should be.
Read
well,
the
it isn't.
Constitution.
Maybe you should
Maybe
go back
you should-
200 and some years, and
Maybe
you
the
could
Second
bring
Amendment
that up.
needs to be revised.
Well,
But it's a natural right.
there's a way to do that.
There's a
way to
process to do that.
process to do that.
Yeah.
You need 2/3 vote to do that, and it has to be all the states have to agree to do it.
Right.
So if you
Why
want to
would
go
anybody
do
be
that,
against that? Who would be
well,
against
because
that?
we
The
think it's
NRA?
fine the way it is right now.
Right. Obviously, you've never had anybody killed at a school
Believe me,
or a
I've had a
baby
lot
or-
of people killed, and
Why? How come
and,
you've had so
and
many and I
3
haven't?
times I've had to use a gun to protect myself.
I never have.
Well, I think you would change if you got faced in that situation. I had to use a gun to protect my wife and my child because a criminal came in and broke into my place of business with a gun, intent on doing harm and stealing. We called the police. The police didn't get there. We were waiting and waiting and
Now,
waiting.
if that person
And
didn't have a gun, then you wouldn't have had to shoot them.
But how are we going to make sure that there are no guns?
I don't know. It's out of control.
Well,
It's
there's
out of
millions
control,
and
but
millions
more
of guns,
more
and
guns
that
are
is
not
just like
the
you
answer.
said. You're dreaming of that, and that's not living in reality.
So your reality
is
is everybody has a gun.
Yes.
No.
Because in
Only
states-
people that want to.
in states,
anybody that wants to have a gun
Yeah.
can have
I
one
just
because
want-
that's
I
what our
just want
Constitution
peace.
says.
But do you
The
understand?
Constitution is a beautiful thing, and if we all just live and abide by it, you'll have peace. You'll have a peaceful
have my
society.
Oh, I don't need it because you're in public. Yeah.
The states that
By the way, it's
where
nice
people,
to meet you.
the states
Yeah.
where people are, where the laws
I'm
are
Harry
relaxed on
McGonigal.
firearms,
Nice to meet you.
there is less
Yeah.
crime.
I'm flaming
Yes,
now.
I am. Nice to meet you.
We have one thing in common.
Who's that?
The police.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing.
Amen.
That's right.
Wow.
And you know what? And that's a start. When you have some commonality and
Yes.
people can speak together rationally like we're just doing, we can look at other sides and we can both learn from each other. And that's all we're saying here.
What's that flaming idiot supposed to be a musician? The horrible musician. That's what all the at rallies.
Oh, you mean you don't like Ted Nugent?
Ted Nugent.
Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted. Sellers
Well,
don't
I
fear,
appreciate you
October
talking
8th.
with us today.
Yeah, we
Really,
appreciate you
it's
talking.
good to have a conversation about this stuff.
And we'll
So.
see you down the loop. All right? But just think about what I said about the Constitution is a
What I
beautiful
said.
thing.
Work on fixing
We need to
Chicago
be
first.
revised. The Constitution was written that our forefathers would be turning in their graves if they saw how their words
Tell
were
me what?
Well,
The
twisted
flintlock was
so
the
much.
assault rifle of its time. Now.
Yeah.
the writings of all
Fix Chicago first, where they have more gun laws than anybody, and then come and talk to us.
spell out very clearly
But they could never have envisioned.
I think they did because they fell down.